All right, man. Peace. So, former NBA great, NBA legend Michael Jordan, he caused a little bit of an uproar last week at his basketball camp when he made some statements evaluating Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. And in his estimation, Kobe Bryant was a greater player than LeBron James is. So now they're just going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
Rules. And since you guys brought up Michael Jordan, let's switch gears and talk a little bit more about him. So he's won 6 NBA titles, and he's widely considered to be the best player of all time. So Jordan was asked this week at his flight school basketball camp, who was the better player of all time, Kobe or LeBron? Jordan said, would I rank LeBron over Kobe in terms of best of all time? No, there's something about 5 that beats 3. Now, he may be better than that, but Kobe won 5 championships. LeBron won 3.
Now, look at what Michael said. Michael said that he would put Kobe over LeBron because Kobe has 5 championships and LeBron has 3. Michael followed that up by saying, now he may be better than that. Right? Why did Michael say that? Because deep down, Michael knows that LeBron is the better player, but he's just evaluating it based purely on championships because Kobe is his boy and he doesn't particularly like LeBron for whatever reason. And he just favors Kobe's style of play because he knows that Kobe has basically taken Michael's personality, his persona, his skill set, and did his best to emulate it or really imitate it. All right, he came up short in that regard, but Michael does look at Kobe as a little brother. But to me, the operative sentence there is where he says in regards to LeBron, now he may be better than that. So in other words, Michael says even though Kobe has won more championships than LeBron, LeBron pretty much is a better player, but I'm just going to go by championships because I want to reward my little brother.
Great. Shannon, what do you think? Do you agree with
Hell no.
Jordan?
I ain't even let you get it out your mouth. No, absolutely.
I'm not even going to let you finish. Little blonde hair bitch. Don't you dare speak out of turn about my boy LeBron. I'll smack you and Skip and get fired. I don't give 2 shits. LeBron is my man, my boo, the love of my life. Anybody say anything about him, we're going to go to war. All right? I don't give 2 shits.
Absolutely not.
I'm shocked.
I'm glad Michael said that. So now we can put this GOAT talk to rest.
Okay.
Bill Russell is the greatest all time.
I don't want to hear no more GOAT talk about Michael Jordan. Unless we're talking about Billy Goat. Billy Goat's gruff. That's my favorite story. My granddad used to tell me that as a child. I want to hear no more about GOAT. GOAT is LeBron.
Because last I checked, 11 beat 6.
If
So
it's
that's
just
it.
numbers.
Is that what we're doing, Skip? So why, hold on, Skip, look at me when I'm talking to you.
I'm having a mental breakdown here. Look at me.
You want me on this chair. You need me in this chair.
6-0 in the finals with 6 MVPs.
11-1. 11. Hold on. So if you're going to use that argument, Joe Montana is still the greatest because he's 4-0.
And I agree with Shannon because I've already stated, in my honest opinion, Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback that I've ever seen. He's greater than Tom Brady. All right. And in regards to Shannon's sentiment about Bill Russell, I'm already on record. I have no problem with anybody saying that Bill Russell or Kareem are the greatest NBA players ever. No problem at all.
You see, here's the
Tom
problem.
Brady should have been 6-1. You know it, and I know
And he
it.
could have been 3-4 or 2-5. But that's neither here nor there. Let's deal with what we're talking about. Michael Jordan so eloquently stated, 5 is more than 3. So in what mathematics is 6 more than 11? Bill Russell has 11. But you know why they say Michael's the greatest? Because there are other things that go into it. MVPs, all NBAs, leading the league in scoring.
Well, no. Actually, the reason why they call Michael Jordan the greatest, I mean, part of what Shannon said is correct. But the real reason why they call Michael Jordan the greatest, or at least I do, is because he's the player who changed the paradigm in the NBA. What do I mean by that? I mean, he was the first backcourt player to dominate the NBA, not just individually, but winning-wise. All right? What do I mean by that? Were there great backcourt players before Michael who dominated? Of course, Magic, Isaiah, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson. But before Michael Jordan, the sentiment was that you needed a dominant big man to win, and a scoring leader could not win NBA championships. Michael Jordan broke the mold on both of those things. And before him, Isaiah Thomas, and this is why, as I've stated in the past, I do rank Isaiah Thomas just outside of the top 10 all-time NBA greats. I rank him, in that 11 to 15 range, along with Dr. J, Kobe, Moses Malone, that group, Oscar Robertson, right? All those guys are in there. I don't know. I don't particularly know what order. I'll have to sit down and think about it. But Isaiah Thomas is in there. Why is that? Because he is the first little man to lead his team to multiple championships without a dominant big man. Now, they had a very skilled front court. All right, Mark Aguirre, Dennis Rodman coming off the bench. Later on, Mark Aguirre coming off the bench. Bill Laimbeer. For those of you who don't know, Bill Laimbeer wasn't just a dirty player. He also was a multiple-time All-Star at center. All right. He had a Hall of Fame backcourt mate in Joe Dumars, but Isaiah Thomas was the first little man to lead his team to multiple championships without a dominant big man. And then, of course, Jordan broke the mold. And Jordan broke the mold in an era with dominant big men. All right. So he totally shifted the paradigm. And to show you how dominant Jordan was, it would be one thing if Jordan came and then he changed the paradigm to where everybody else was doing it. Before Jordan, you had dominant front courts. You had Wilt Chamberlain, you had Bill Russell, you had Kareem. Then in the 80s, of course, you had the front court with the Boston Celtics of Bird, McHale, and Parrish. You had Kareem in L.A. You had Moses Malone, who had to go to Philly to help Dr. J win a championship. You had Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson, the Twin Towers. They're the only ones who interrupted the Lakers' consecutive finals representation of the Western Conference in the mid-'80s. And, of course, Moses Malone interrupted it in the early 80s. All right. And then you had the bad boy Pistons. But then Jordan came along in a dominant big man era. And after he finished winning, it went back to being dominated by big men. Because you had the Twin Towers of David Robinson and Tim Duncan. And then you had Shaq, who won it for 3 years in a row with Kobe as his second in command. And then you had Tim Duncan. Right. And then finally you had a team, in the 2004 Pistons that were kind of an amalgamation of skilled players without a dominant big man. But throughout the vast history of the NBA, you had to have a dominant big man until you had Jordan come along, and then it went right back to that. All right, so that's the reason why Jordan is the greatest, because he was able to win it his way. All right, he totally shifted the paradigm. Now, you have a guy like a LeBron James, who's the most dominant player in the NBA, but for all intents and purposes, he is a big man. All right. LeBron James, to me, in this era, should be considered a big man.
Okay, let's just take it on its face value. Kobe Bryant, 5 titles. LeBron, 3. Check Kobe. MVPs, regular season. LeBron James, 4. Kobe Bryant, 1. LeBron James is one of 5 men that's won 4 or more MVPs. He's one of 2 men that win 2 in 2 different locations. He won 2 and 2, Cleveland and Miami. Kareem is 3 and 3, Milwaukee and the Lakers. You get that to who? LeBron, right? Okay. Final MVPs. LeBron has 3. Kobe has 2. LeBron James has led his team in scoring every year, 14 years in a row. Kobe Bryant did not lead his team in scoring the first year until year 7. Check LeBron. So by any numerical stance, if all you're looking at is championships, Bill Russell is the greatest player ever. But if you're taking other things into consideration, people want to say Michael Jordan. So if you're just looking at championships, if that's the criteria that we're going to use, and it seems to be that's the criteria that Michael Jordan is using, why do we keep anointing him the GOAT? Because 11 is way more than 6.
That's true. But, and this is not to denigrate Bill Russell, but he played in an era with only 8 teams. All right, Jordan played in what's considered the modern era. The modern era started, or it was considered to be the modern era of the NBA, started with the drafting of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson in the 1979 NBA draft. We all know that. Bill Russell, as great as he was, is considered to have played in the golden age of the NBA back in the mid-'60s, right? Late 50s throughout the 60s. You only had 8 teams. All right. And then you had the ABA that came and took a lot of great talent. Rick Barry played in the ABA. All right. Dr. J played in the ABA. George Gervin started in the ABA. I believe Moses Malone also started in the ABA. So, Spencer Haywood. You had a lot of dominant players that played in the ABA instead of the NBA and kind of watered down the NBA. All right. These are just facts. So when you can't always just judge it like that. And then you had no free agency back in the Bill Russell era either. So you had no roster turnover. If you were good enough to win it in 1962, one would assume that as long as you stayed healthy, that you should win it again the next year because there wasn't going to be any roster turnover. Your rosters were built via the draft or trades.
And Bill Russell, in 13 years, went to 12 finals. He lost 1, 11-1. The man ain't even got enough fingers to put all them rings on. And you, Michael Jordan, gonna sit there and talk about he the GOAT. You not the GOAT. Bill Russell's the GOAT.
Once again, I have no problem saying that Bill Russell's the greatest player ever, right? Or anybody who states that. I personally would choose Jordan. But once again, I have no problem with anybody who would say Bill Russell or Kareem. But please understand, Michael Jordan took one team to 3 championships, retired for a year and a half, and came back with a totally different team other than Pippen. The roster was completely different other than Scottie Pippen, and he won 3 more championships. All right? Bill Russell did not have to worry about that type of roster turnover.
Bill, they need to come out with some Russell shoes.
Tell me when
Champ man.
Tell me when you're finished.
Michael Jordan can have jump man. Bill Russell, champ man.
Tell me when it's my turn.
Hold up,
You just
Jenny,
dropped the mic.
Jenny, give me a finger, Jenny. Just hold up one finger. Hold up one finger, Jenny. That's Bill Russell. That's his logo.
I'm helping you with that.
Champ man.
Just
Left.
for right now.
I ain't say left. I said left. That's how many champions he got left.
Shannon's white woman better watch out. Shannon got his eye on that little snowflake in the middle. He's going to be like, hey, Jenny Taft, how would you feel about an open relationship with me, you, and LeBron?
Weak and lame was your argument. And I'm going to shoot a lot of holes in your
I want you to. You know what?
It occurred to me while I was listening to your baloney that I will give you this. LeBron James is on his way to becoming the greatest regular season player in NBA.
No, we're not talking about that.
I agree with that. I liken LeBron to Peyton Manning. Puts up big stats in the regular season, gets to the postseason, and he overthinks it, and oftentimes loses because he overthinks it. All right? He definitely, as Skip coined it, he does not have the quote-unquote clutch gene. All right? Clutch gene meaning being a free-flowing player in close moments.
No, don't worry. Just make the case that. Okay.
Last night when I was thinking about this, 2 things occurred to me, and the first was I went back to 2009 when I was on the old show, and there were these commercials that came out. Remember the puppet commercials? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Kobe versus LeBron puppet.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And could we see that quickly, just for a second,
Damn, Skip going deep. He had them find the commercials.
Just to remind everybody how great it was at that point in 2009.
LeBron, have you seen my 3 championship rings? Because I seem to have misplaced my 3 championship rings.
Kobe, I'm busy.
And they represent the 3 championships that I myself have won.
Maybe you should check your championship ring display case.
Oh, snap. Will you look at that?
They're my 3 championship rings.
It's pretty good.
It was David Allen Greer as the voice of Kobe and Kenan Thompson as the voice of LeBron. And it was great.
It was a great
I even had the privilege and honor. I got to make a digital commercial with the 2 puppets.
I had
and
the
it was
t-shirt.
something. Did you?
Yes.
And it reminded me of the time when the reason for the commercials was that they were on collision course to meet in the finals.
That's right. Bring it out, Skip. They were supposed to meet in 2009 and 2010.
And it was going to be pretty much head-to-head because there was no more Shaq in Los Angeles, right? And what happened right on cue? Orlando happened. LeBron hit the shot heard around the world in Game 2 to even that series in Cleveland at 1-1. Then they went to Orlando, and they lost, and they lost. They came home and won, and then they went back to Orlando and got closed out in 6 games. It didn't happen. And then what happened the next year? Be 2010, still more Kobe, LeBron puppet commercials. They were great. I loved them. Loved every one of them.
I bet you did.
And what happened? Right on cue, Kobe's doing Kobe. He's holding up his end of the bargain. And
well, yeah, Kobe and Phil Jackson were holding up that end of the bargain because Kobe really ain't do shit without Phil Jackson. You know, I know Kobe's boyfriend's going to get mad about that, but it is what it is.
And LeBron against Boston played one of the greatest games of his career in Game 3 at Boston Garden. You remember that Friday night game? He went for like 38 and something. He was dynamic in that game. He was unstoppable. And then they lost, and they lost, and they lost. And
yeah, because he found out his mama was screwing one of his teammates. Probably more than one of them.
And Dan Gilbert accused LeBron James of quitting in the last 3 losses to the Boston Celtics, which effectively ended, obviously, LeBron.
Well, we know that didn't happen to us, Skip.
Well, that's what he accused him of. And members of LeBron's inner circle leaked news that was broken on ESPN that LeBron had to be sedated before a couple of those games because of a locker room issue with another teammate.
Yeah, with Delonte West. Delonte West was taking it to the hole on LeBron James' mama, allegedly.
So just for the record, I thought that was a bunch of baloney, but whatever. That's how bad it got at the end of LeBron's run in Cleveland, and Kobe versus LeBron did not happen, right?
Right, it didn't happen, Skip.
Okay, so then what happened over the last 3 years of Kobe's career? Kobe became unwatchable, and it clouded your vision of the greatness of Kobe Bryant because I counted last night, I think he suffered 22 different injuries over a 5-year period. His body just betrayed him. It broke completely down. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Started with the shoulder, then he had knees, he had the Achilles.
Yeah.
He broke a couple of fingers. It was always something breaking for Kobe Bryant. And he became a pretty pathetic shell of himself until that final night at Staples when he scored 60. And it looked like he's playing. I know, he shot 50 times, but it looked like he's playing the Washington Generals, right? The Utah Jazz. I think they were kind of all caught up.
Yeah, they weren't even playing defense. The man was just running shooting drills out there.
In the moment, but that was the end of Kobe as we knew and loved him, and it was really 3 years before that. So, when I think back of the great Kobe Bryant, what do I think of the most? I think of Mamba mentality. I think of from 2002 until 2012, every year a poll of GMs voted, which player do you want with the ball in his hands at the end of your game? And Kobe won 10 straight years, 2002 to 2012. Kobe Bean Bryant won because he was the closest thing in killer will, in assassin's mentality that we had seen since Michael Jordan. So when I do a vacuum of, I'll give you, LeBron is the more all-around skill player.
Thank you, Skip. You know, when I said that LeBron had a greater skill set, that's what really puts him over Kobe. You know, all of Kobe's boyfriends got mad. How could you say that? How could you say LeBron got better skill set? You don't know nothing about basketball. Come on, man. LeBron James, he's a guy that when you bring him to your team, that's a guaranteed 50 wins, no matter who's on the roster. Kobe Bryant is a phenomenal weapon, but he has to have proper coaching, proper team, proper concept. All that has to go into effect in order for him to win. Period. You can get mad about that. I don't give a damn. Kobe Bryant in his prime, the year after Shaq left, Lakers did not make the playoffs. It is what it is. Kobe Bryant, he went to Germany, got those modern day scientifically enhanced steroid injections, allegedly, came back, had a great season in 2012, 2013. The Lakers barely, I don't even know if they made the playoffs until the last game of the season. I think the last game of the season is when they certified that they were going to the playoffs, the second to last game. Right, and Kobe's Achilles tendon popped because his body couldn't take it. All them scientifically enhanced drugs pumping through his system. His Achilles couldn't hold on anymore. His Achilles just said, fuck it. I'm letting go, Kobe. You don't want to let go, I'm letting go. Pop.
Obviously, he's a better rebounder. He's a better passer than Kobe.
Oh, he's all those things, but he's not. Okay, but go ahead, make your point.
I'm not sure he's a better defender because Kobe made all defensive team 12 times.
Kobe was a good defender, overrated defender, but a good defender. All right, overrated. Those of us who remember Kobe Bryant early on in his prime, when he was a top-level defender, he used to get lit up by guys. I remember Bonzi Wells used to light up Kobe. He used to take his ass down in the post and light him up. All right, but he's a good defender, though. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I will give LeBron a slight edge. LeBron in his prime was a better defender than Kobe, slightly.
times.
I'm just saying, you keep saying he's a better rebounder, he's a better assist guy.
Yeah.
He has a higher scoring average than Kobe. But I mean, go ahead, make your point.
But who do
Better shooting percentage also, and better in the clutch. Quiet as kept.
who do I?
Stat-wise, percentage-wise, LeBron James is a better clutch player than Kobe. Kobe is just, Kobe's just heartless. Kobe just don't give a shit in the clutch. So the narrative is that he's a greater clutch player when he's really not.
Who do I want with the ball in his hands at the end of my game? Kobe Bryant. That's the last thing I want is LeBron James. It came to this for LeBron in the Kyrie era. He needed Kyrie to close for him. Really? You think Kobe needed a closer? Michael didn't need a closer.
Okay, you said from 2002 to what year? Did Kobe, they said GM?
2012.
2012. Why did you pick up at 2002 when Kobe Bryant came into the league in 1996? Why did you pick up at 2000?
Shannon's funny as hell. Shannon basically going to say Kobe wouldn't shit his first 5-6 years in the league. That's basically what Shannon's trying to say.
2002?
Well, he was 18 the first year, so.
Oh, LeBron James in 2003 came to the NBA. He was 18.
So?
I'm just trying to figure out why.
Okay,
hold on, Skip. Hold on. Now, I'll let you talk, and I ain't interrupt you.
I'm just getting started.
No, okay. I'm just trying to figure out a guy that comes in the league in 1996. You pick up talking about him in 2002. So did 97 through 01? Did that not happen?
So?
Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, just for me now.
He's still scoring 30 a game. I don't know.
Not quite. He became a top scorer in the 2000-2001 season. But to say he was scoring 30 a game all those seasons, no, he was not. As a matter of fact, it would have did Kobe good to play a couple of years in college.
Well, maybe he hadn't become that guy, Jordan-esque yet.
He didn't lead his team in scoring until year 7. LeBron James been in the league 14 years.
Well, Shaq was there.
Oh, that's my point. That's what I want. So, other words, so now that's what.
Okay.
So, hold on. So now you're telling me that Kobe Bryant played with a great player. So
a greater player than him. Shaquille O'Neal is a top 10 all-time great player. All right, Kobe Bryant is not. Let's establish that, please.
If LeBron plays with Shaq, they have less than 5. They have less than 3 championships.
Oh, that's a great point. If LeBron was playing with Shaq, they might have won about 5 or 6 championships. Because it wouldn't have been all that, those personality clashes. That would not have happened. Not with LeBron and Shaq. And LeBron would have brought far more to the table as a co-star than Kobe Bryant was willing to bring. All right. And once again, Shaq is greater than Kobe. Shaq went to the finals with Orlando. He went to the finals, of course, with LA. He went to the finals with Miami. He was on Phoenix when they were relatively successful. Shaq was a dominant player. All right, top 10 all-time great player, and was able to be successful with numerous coaches. Kobe Bryant was only successful with one coach.
Oh, they have more.
So then LeBron left Dan Gilbert, and he took his talents to South Beach, and he joined forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and Pat Riley.
Right.
And what happened right away? What happened in the first finals?
They lost.
LeBron melted down the way.
No, it ain't to just lose, Shannon. The man had a mental breakdown, all right? There's no way you can get around that. Your boo thing folded up.
We've never seen a superstar melt down in the history of sports. The guy that people are saying is the best player on the planet revealed himself to be the mentally weakest superstar we've ever seen. Would that have been Kobe? Would Kobe have allowed that to happen in an NBA Finals?
No, Kobe.
You know and I know it would not have happened.
It did happen. It happened in 2004. Kobe Bryant was horrific against the Pistons in 2004. Outside of that game-winning shot that he hit, he was terrible. Especially those games in Detroit, he was absolutely horrific. When you guys get the chance, go on NBAReference.com and look up Kobe's performances in that series. All right, he was getting single. I got these guys in my comments. Kobe was getting double teamed. No, he wasn't. They put Tayshaun Prince on they put Tayshaun Prince on Kobe, and they told Kobe, look, this is your parole officer. You have to report to him every game. All right. He's gonna make sure that you stay in your place and that you watch yourself. All right. Clink clink. They had that motherfucker Kobe. He was like Al Capone. He was like Andy Dufresne. That motherfucker was locked up. All right. Attica, Sing Sing, whatever prison you want to name. Shawshank. He was locked up for that whole series. All right, so-called greatest scorer other than Jordan. Nah, that motherfucker was locked up. All right, what Akon say? I'm locked up.
Maybe we just blow a 3-1 lead to Phoenix. But hold on. You know, I found out this is why Michael likes Kobe. Because both of them know what it's like to lose in the first round. LeBron James doesn't know what that's like.
Well, Michael doesn't know what it's like to not make the playoffs as a Chicago Bull. All right, LeBron James, his first 2 years, he didn't make the playoffs. So let's not go there, brother. The only way that you could lose in the first round is to make the playoffs.
He's never known what it's like to lose in the first round.
Yeah, but he's lost 6 NBA finals. 6 finals? Do you think that Kobe would have stood for losing 6 finals? Because I got to tell you,
he can't lose because he can't get there.
Even with Shaq, and you know I'm a big Spurs fan and have been for a long time.
Yes.
Kobe killed my Spurs with Shaq.
Okay.
It was often more Kobe than Shaq.
Okay. So
I just would sit back and say, that's just too good. I'm sorry.
Okay, so from 01, 02, no, from 2000, 2001, 2002, the Lakers won the NBA Finals. Who was the MVP of those finals? I know Kobe wasn't on that team, so who was the MVP?
Look at Skip's face. Yo, Skip looked like he just had something sour. Just say it, Skip. Shaq. Shaq was the better player. He was the MVP.
In 2000, 2001, 2002 for the Lakers when they won the finals.
Your puppet master looked it up.
Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. You say it.
Skip, I'm just asking. I know Kobe, because we picked up Kobe's career in 2002, although Jenny, he was in the league in 1999. So I'm just trying to figure out for me, can someone on my Twitter follow, I'm about to get 250,000, Skip. They love me, Skip. They say, hey, we gonna help you. We gonna help you catch on, Skip, baby. I say, thank y'all very much.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, you pick up Kobe's career in 2002. So basically, that's 1 year before LeBron gets into the NBA. Now, I know for a fact that he came into the draft in 1996 because they traded Vlade Divac to the Hornets to get him to the Lakers. But that's neither here nor there. LeBron James averages 2 more points, 2 more rebounds, 2 more assists. He
is a stat machine. I'll give you that.
I'm impressed.
Skip,
regular season dynamo.
Hold on. But you just talked about Kobe's scoring prowess. But the scoring not a stat.
Do you think Kobe Bryant would have needed Ray Allen to save his legacy? No,
he
would have saved his own.
He needed Shaq and Pau Gasol.
Okay.
Thank you, Shannon. I've been said that. If Kobe Bryant didn't have a great low post player, man couldn't do shit. Sorry. I know y'all gonna get mad. Kobe Bryant was a Shaq and a Pau Gasol and a Phil Jackson away from being Dominique Wilkins. A guy who have a bunch of 50-point games in the regular season, get to the playoffs and go out in the first round. And I know all his boyfriends go say the same thing. Oh, he was playing out in the West. The West was so tough. Look, that motherfucker was up 3-1 against Phoenix, and he blew it. All right? He was up 3-1 against Phoenix and blew it, and actually gave away a game because he was so mad that everybody was saying that he shot too much. All right? So miss me with all that dumb shit.
So I'm just trying.
Wait, did Shaq hit a game winner?
Hold on.
Just take LeBron off the hook?
He just averaged. Can I ask you a question? Of all of LeBron's teammates, which one of them is better than Shaq?
Well, in combination.
No, I'm not trying to open a lock. I don't need combination. I just ask you a simple question. Of all the teammates that LeBron James have had, which one is better than the Diesel?
Who was favored to win LeBron's Miami Finals every time? Who was favored?
All I'm asking, Skip, can you do me this one favor?
How are you favored to win a finals and you're the best player on the planet and you lose the finals by a record margin?
And Skip's retort is fair. If you were to combine Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, they would be slightly above Shaq, slightly. Right? So that's a fair retort. When you look at the Lakers, they were led by a 2-headed monster. Miami was a 3-headed monster. So it's fair for Skip to respond back with that retort. Yes, if you combine Dwayne Wade with Chris Bosh, they would pretty much give you the give you the same effect as a Shaq, probably a little bit more, because if you combine them, they're probably going to give you about 41, 42 points a game in the playoffs, probably about 16, 17 rebounds. Shaq giving you in the playoffs in that three-peat era with Kobe, he was giving you about 36 and 14, 15 a game, right? Rebounds, 36 points, about 15 rebounds. So I mean that's a fair retort from Skip. If I was Skip, I would have stuck to that. Don't let Shannon take you off your square, Skip.
to the Spurs? How does that happen? In 5 games, you get blown off the floor, and you have joined forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh? Really?
Skip. I'm just trying to see. You see what you do? See, when they judge LeBron, they take his top total body of work. But when you're trying to make your argument for Kobe, you pick up at 2002. But those 7 years before that, they occurred. So talk about that when he averaged 7 points a game. When has LeBron James never, ever, ever averaged less than 20 points a game?
That's not a fair argument because LeBron came onto a team that had nobody, and Kobe came onto a team with the most dominant player in the NBA. So obviously he was not going to get the leeway to do what LeBron James did, even though I agree that LeBron is a better player. But we have to be fair when we're having this type of discussion. Not only did Kobe come onto a team with a dominant player, the most dominant player in the NBA, not the greatest player at the time. The greatest player was Jordan, but the most dominant was Shaq as far as physicality and just his ability to take over a whole section of the court, that being the low post. Right? Kobe also came in onto a team where he had to play behind Eddie Jones. For those of you who remember, was a very, very highly skilled shooting guard. Right? I wouldn't call him elite, but he can get the job done. So I mean, it's kind of hard to compare.
Kobe did it twice. They were both the same age entering the NBA.
When has Kobe Bryant, when would any rival player ever dare to call Kobe Bean Bryant the B word to his face, as Draymond called LeBron in a finals game?
What about this?
Called him the B word?
Chris Childs.
Ultimate disrespect? Are you kidding me?
Chris Childs didn't call him anything. He gave him that 3-piece extra crispy.
Oh, okay.
He sure did. He hit Kobe. He hit Kobe with the 2-piece, the biscuit, gave him a value meal, a doggy bag, said, come back tomorrow.
Oh, come on. Talk about that, how he got lumped up by Chris Childs. What did Chris Childs? I'd rather you call me what you want to, but don't put hands on me. Man, put hands on him. Pray for him right there on the court, in the middle of the court. Bless his heart, Lord.
So do I want Mamba mentality, or do I want LeBron's mental weakness? I don't know. I think I'm going Mamba mentality.
The man hit you with a 3-piece extra crispy with no size, and you gonna talk about he got heart?
You don't think Kobe's a tough guy? I'll take his toughness.
The man hit it with a 3-piece and he didn't respond.
Kobe's an on-court thug. That's what he is. Kobe's he's an on-court thug. He knows that the refs are gonna be there. You know, he's able to on-court thug all the other on-court thugs. You know what I'm saying? Like Matt Barnes and all them other guys. I mean, I give Kobe a little credit. He's tough on the court. But come on, man. This is basketball. It's not fighting.
Either way, it is nice to hear from MJ, right? Throughout this basketball camp, we're getting a lot of good stuff from him.
Birds of a feather flock together, Skip. When you know what it's like to lose in the first round.
Oh.
Brian don't know this. Why Brian go talk to Mike about losing in the...
How you gonna bring up losing in the first round, brother? Just knock it off.